Part 2. So, I go to my grandmother's one day. This is where I'm in between at. I had a car, but we were sleeping in a bando, living in and out of the car. I drove my car to my grandmother's. I ran up in the house for a minute. I'm in the bathroom. I had crack on me, I had coke on me, I had dope on me. I'm in the bathroom getting high. I see my finger, it like lumps up and turns white, and the lump moves up my hand, and it freaked me out so bad. I knew then I was not hallucinating. I ran out there, I got my grandmother, and I was like, look at my hand. She started crying. She started freaking out. She was like, oh my God, get in the car, I'm taking you to the hospital. I didn't know what to do. I panicked. I was like, if I'm going to die, I want to get high one last time. And that was my mindset. I jumped in my car. She had her purse walking out the door. And I was under so much. I felt like I was living in a nightmare. And it was real. I jumped in my car. I sped to Royal Farms. I ran inside. I was thirsty, dehydrated. I was like, I don't know what was going on. I stole 2 Gatorades. I ran right out, hopped in my car, and I gunned it all the way to Baltimore, 100 mile an hour, weaving in and out of traffic. I didn't care. I didn't care if I died. I thought I had stuff crawling around in my skin. I got to the city. I copped a bunch of crack. I had $100. I got that at Royal Farms as well. And when I got out there, I'm just hitting crack and, getting ready to shoot coke. I got pills of dope. And I'm like, I'm heading straight to the hospital. I'm flying. I got my head down. I'm taking a hit of crack. Boom! Right into the back of a truck. As soon as I did, I panic. My car goes into neutral. It's like, boom, 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 boom. And I hear police sirens. They weren't even for me, but because I was tripping and I was on coke, I panicked. I spazzed out. I drove way down the road and I fucking parked right on McHenry Street, and I took off running to the first alley. It was raining. My car was smoking, and there was still sirens going on. It was adding to it. I ran down into this bando that had crashed, and it was like a little hole. I'm down in like nails and rusty nails and wood. I'm wet, and I'm hiding. And I keep hearing stuff. I'm like, oh my God, my heart is thumping. And I'm like, these are cops coming. They're cops coming. I'm throwing my drugs up in the air. I'm throwing it everywhere. I never found them. I looked. It was wet. I guess they dissolved. I don't know where they went. They fell down between the wood. I don't know. And I then called my mom, and I was like, Mom, this is what's happening to me. And she was just tired of this shit. She didn't care. She didn't believe me. I kept telling people the whole time I was using that this was happening. And, everybody looked at me crazy. But because of all this, and because of me digging in my legs and like me hallucinating and me thinking shit was on me, I ripped my legs all up. They were infected. I had a bandage stuck to my vein. I pulled the bandage off and ripped my vein out. I couldn't get it to stop bleeding. I had to tie a tourniquet around it. It was rough. And like I said, people didn't want to come around me. I already have a problem mentally because I never felt like I fit in as a kid, and I always felt alone, and I was always picked on by my brother. And, it was all a lie. It was all a lie. I didn't look any different than anybody. I didn't walk any different to anybody. I was just told that at a young age. So when I was out there in them streets and everybody looked down on me like that, it hurt. And what it did is it humbled me. It humbled me. God sat there and allowed these people to look at me and look down on me. Somebody who is the only thing they think about is what people think of them. And what that did is it made me realize my worth and what I deserve. And when I got